What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. At this point, I would say the Clippers, I guess they're just content with the 8th seed. I guess they're content with being a play-in tournament team. And I guess that's what they're, just setting their sights for. Ty Lue rests Marcus Morris. He rests Reggie Jackson, last night, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Clippers lost that game in overtime. They still put up a good fight. Still had really big game from Zubac. Very surprised, or should I say very impressed by him. Definitely need to see more from him consistently. He's definitely, been an anchor for the Clippers in some key moments in this season, for the Clippers. And hopefully he continues that and gets more consistency with that because they're going to need that going forward. Personally, I think, what I said yesterday in yesterday's video, to me, should be the mindset. You're only 4 games out of, contention of getting that 6th seed. And you got a big game against Denver a couple of games from now. I just personally think that Ty Lue should have, rev the guys up more in contention of let's go try to get that 6th seed. And I feel like now the Clippers are just settling. And sometimes I feel like things like that come back to bite you. I mean, we think about last year in the playoffs when they could have moved up to the 3rd seed, I think, and they just fell to the 4th seed and rested some guys, and everything like that for the playoffs, and came into the series against the Dallas Mavericks and somewhat kind of took them lightly, and they almost lost that series. And this is not good if you think about it, because if you have an opportunity to move up, you take that. To me, that's just my opinion. You don't settle for the lesser. You strive for better. And to me, only 4 games. Well, now they're 5 games out of it, but only 4 games out of it. What I'm saying, they could at least, to me, went for it. Now if it's 2 games, 3 games left in the season, 4 games left in the season, and you see that there's no way possible, no way possible you can get that seed, that 6th seed or something like that. Okay, you let it go then. Then you start resting players, 3-4 games before the play-in tournament or the playoffs start, and you just kind of go from there. But I just think being content sometime where you are isn't a good thing. I think it's better to strive for more, and I feel like that's something bad on Ty Lue's part. I feel like Ty Lue should be more aggressive than that. I've known him to be more aggressive than that, just looking at his coaching style throughout the years, with Cleveland and, even with the Clippers, in the beginning, like last season, he was more aggressive in some ways. And I just think that, something like this can come back to haunt him, because think about it like this. Now you're more likely going to settle for the play-in tournament. It's a possibility you might face the Lakers again. And if you face the Lakers again, who's to say you're going to beat them 5 straight times in one season? There's no guarantee, because every game besides the last one, or most of the games this year besides the last one, was very close. It came down to 1 point, and you never know. Anthony Davis might be back by then. You never know. So it could be a whole different animal. And who's to say? Who's to say Kawhi Leonard comes back or Paul George comes back, or who's to say you might not, you might get one of those superstars back instead of both of them. And even if you did get both of them back, who's to say what type of rhythm they would have? You see what I'm saying? So their rhythm is completely off. They haven't played in a while, especially Kawhi Leonard. He hasn't played all season. So, his rhythm would be far off from where it would be, if he played. And, Paul George is going to be off too, because Paul George hasn't played in a while. So to me, settling for the play-in tournament, that's just what it looks like Ty Lue is implementing. And I just think that's not a good thing, because like I said, if you have an opportunity to go for something, you need to go for that. You need to try to get that 6th seed. You need to at least apply yourself. It's 12 to 13, 14 games left in the season. So why settle for eighth seed when you've clearly won a lot of games this season. You won a lot of games this season. You have beaten a lot of tough teams. You've shown a lot of grit, a lot of fight, next man up mentality, and all that. What is all that for if you're not going to strive to be the best you can be? Why settle for something? Because like I said, last year when they did that, they fell to the 4th seed when they could have moved up to the 3rd seed and never played the Dallas Mavericks in the first round, and might not have expend so much energy going against them, whereas they could have faced another team in the first round, used less energy, and maybe Kawhi Leonard stays healthy last year. I mean, maybe Kawhi Leonard got hurt last year because you went 7 games. I mean, it took all his energy in the first round of the playoffs to knock off a Luka Doncic and a Mavericks team who felt disrespected by what you did, falling down a seed to play them almost as if they're the easier matchup, and you almost lost that matchup. It wasn't for Kawhi Leonard turning into a basketball god and putting you on his back game 6 and game 7 and carrying you home to the next round. And see, this is what I'm talking about. The Clippers can't make bad decisions like that, and that's the things I don't like. And if that's what Ty Lue is implementing, I don't like that coach move. I don't. I feel like you should go for it if you have an opportunity. The Clippers are, like I said, up until last night, they were 4 games out of it. If you play Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris, you more likely probably beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers if Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson plays. So that means, you will stay in contention. You would have won another game, and let's just say hypothetically they win the next few games, and then you play Denver like a week or so from now. So that would have been a big matchup playing against them because you're on a several game winning streak. Let's say Denver lost 1 or 2 hypothetically, and then they face the Clippers, and the Clippers beat them again, along with the Timberwolves. They already beat the Timberwolves 2 or 3 times this season, earlier, I think. So, I mean, you have the tiebreaker over them. Just in case it comes down to, you having the same record or the record is about the same. So, I mean, if you got the tiebreaker over there and y'all record is about the same, you get the 6th seed and they get the 7th or 8th seed, which means they're in the play-in tournament or whatever the case may be, but you're in the actual playoffs. And that's what the goal should be. The goal shouldn't be, we'll settle for the play-in tournament and take our chances there. No, you've beaten a lot of good teams this year. You've made major comebacks this year against a lot of good teams. And I feel like Ty Lue owes it to the guys more to push them to want to strive for that 6th seed. All the hard work these guys done this season, it shouldn't result in let's just settle for the play-in tournament and let's just see where it goes from there. Because like I said, hypothetically, what if you play the Lakers again? Can you beat them 5 straight times in the season? Yeah, it's very possible that you can. Very possible you can. But it's very possible that you don't beat them that 5th time in one season. Because it's hard to beat a team 4 times in one season. It really is. So the Clippers done really good justice with that. And that was very impressive. But if you have to face them one more time, who's to say that you'll be able to get out that game? Who's to say that you will? There's no guarantee. And now, here lately, Reggie Jackson made some comments about, the Lakers and the Clippers, and, that just stirred up the rivalry a little bit more. So if they play each other again, you already know the Lakers are going to be even more amped up because now it's more talking involved, even more so than it has been. Because when Kawhi Leonard was healthy, there was no talking. It was just the media doing the talking for the Clippers and the Clippers keeping their mouth shut because their leader wasn't saying anything. The leader was going out there playing by example, and that's what they should do. But this is my point. I just feel like that was a bad move by the Clippers to do that. And like I said, I feel like that can come back to haunt them. Just settling for a position rather than reaching for higher heights to get another position. Sometimes I think that comes back to bite you in a situation, because I always say staying stagnant, really is never a good thing. I mean, it can be, I guess, in some instances, but most instances it's not. It's always good to strive for better. And if you have an opportunity, you go for that. And I feel like Ty Lue is really letting the guys down in some type of way, because all the hard work they've been putting in this season, all the big wins they've gotten, they need to at least have an opportunity to get that 6th seed and get a playoff spot so they can avoid the play-in tournament, and then they can get a little bit of rest. And then that gives, more rest for Kawhi and PG to come back in the first round of the playoffs, something like that, or, whatever the case may be. It's just better that way. And that's what I said. Like, you got to go for it when you have an opportunity. You got to seize the opportunity, because if you don't, then, you might slip up, and then let's hypothetically say the Clippers lose in a playoff or in a play-in tournament game. That the whole season is a bust, because it's like, man, all the hard work you did, you had an opportunity to get to a playoff spot, but you chose not to by sitting guys 10 to 15 games left in the season. And it's not even, it's at the end of the season. I'll give you that, but it's not like 3-4 games left in the season. It's 10, 15 games left in the season. So you're sitting guys way too early for no reason. I mean, these guys are ready to go. I mean, I heard that, he had to convince Reggie Jackson to sit out this last night's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, because Reggie Jackson wanted to play. Because in his mind, he's probably thinking what I'm thinking. The rest of the maybe Clipper Nation is thinking, go for that 6th seed. At least try to get it. Don't sit there and settle and don't put your effort in, because you still got a lot. You still got time. You still got, like I said, 12 to 15 games left. You're only 3-4 games back. So, why not at least try? But hey, that's Ty Lue's decision. That's what Ty Lue wants to do. Hey, he's the coach. He's the boss in the situation. But I'm just saying, better be careful, because sometimes that can come back to bite you. And like I said, it's a good thing to rest players. But like I said, 3-4 games left in the season, I get that. But 10, 15 games left in the season, nah, we need to play. We need to play as hard as we can and win every game we can, and see where we land up in the seedings and see if it benefits us. That's what should have been implemented to the players, but it wasn't, apparently, and it's not. So now they're a game back further, and I don't think they're going to catch them now, because if you resting players now, I'm pretty sure he's going to rest players another couple of games from now and just take their chance in the playoff or the play-in tournament and just see how it goes. But hey, that's my take on everything. You leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Khaliis out.